Greetings.
Was wünschst du?
I'll have a look at the wares. I'd like to do something about that price.
Gut, dann mal los.
What would you say to this?
We're nearly there. Just lower your price a bit more. Sehr gut. I can agree to that. Pleasure doing business. Take care.
all gods. Wonder what their names were.
Blessings to you.
And when Clara had enough, they went to see Annie for a bit of rough.
The meter is way off, but as my Italian friend says,
I heard you're in need of money, friend.
Aye,
Your
true
Italian
enough.
friend.
Greetings to you. How can I help?
What's going on around here, innkeeper?
Vostadek, Lord von Berghoff's huntsman, is a regular here. He might have some work for you. He's got a cottage near Vidlark Pond. So if you know your way round the woods, you could go and offer him your help. But I hope he hasn't started drinking somewhere else. He's my best customer. One more thing. You're not going to believe this, but 2 local lads claim they found a water goblin's treasure.
You have a water goblin here?
It would be a wonder if we didn't, with all the ponds around. He's got a hut nearby. If you follow the right bank of the Rock Tower Pond, you'll find it hidden in the reeds.
Where did you say the water goblin's hut was?
If you follow the right bank of the Rock Tower Pond, you'll find it hidden in the reeds.
And what did they find there? Are you sure they didn't make it up?
I thought so too at first. They're foolish lads, so I wouldn't be surprised. But then they ordered wine and paid with silver. Their purse was jingling with groschen.
Would you happen to know where I could find these lads?
They often swim at the other side of the Rock Tower Pond. There's a pier there by the dam. That's their spot.
Any other news?
Recently, a bunch of charcoal burners who have their kilns on the hill above the Kerchak Pond came here to have a beer. I started talking to them and they told me they almost didn't make it.
Why?
They said a pack of wolves came after them.
Aren't wolves afraid of people?
That's what I thought too. It's strange.
I need to keep it clear for real poetry.
Right, and you've come up with some real pearls.
Did they tell you how large the pack was?
They mentioned 3 wolves, but God knows if that's all of them.
Did they tell you where it happened?
In a gorge above the Rock Tower Pond. They noticed the wolves watching them from the rocks. If you climb up those rocks, you'll be able to see the whole pond from there.
Do you have any more news?
By the way, we've put together this wee fight club here. Would you like to try it?
That sounds good. What's it about?
It actually came about by chance when the miller Crazel and me bet on who has the stronger hired hands. Then other blokes from the village joined in, and it's become somewhat of a tradition. By the way, old Olbram from Zheleov keeps complaining about the Takovites. If you go and see him, I'm sure he'll tell you more about it. But, well, he takes a bit of getting used to, though.
Oh? What do you mean?
You'll see. I mean, here, and that's pretty much everything.
Thanks, innkeeper. That sounds interesting.
About what I'd expect from you once again. Hey.
Tell me more about these fights of yours.
It's really quite simple. You bet some money and fight against 3 blokes in turn. Our first fighter is Hans, a local musician. He may not look like much, but he knows a few tricks. Then we have Bohunek here. He works with horses, so he has more than enough strength to spare. And then there's Fiala, a good bloke, but Dorothy, his wife, has forbidden him from fighting.
Never pollute my head with such codswallop. I need to keep it clear for real poetry.
Excuse me, I'm looking for a friend of mine. He's not from round here, but...
Let me guess. A dirty ruffian who ain't got a groschen to his name but acts like he owns the bloody place.
He was here then?
Aye, he was. He was larging it up, good and proper, and then he found some lads who paid his bill, unfortunately.
What do you mean by that? Why unfortunately?
Because they're right ruffians who are always up to no good. But still, birds of a feather, eh? In the end, they left like best pals. I've got no idea where they went.
To your health, my friends. There's no talk.
What's going on around here, innkeeper?
We hold a fight club here sometimes. Would you like to try it?
That sounds good. What's it about?
It actually then other, and that's pretty much everything.
Thanks, innkeeper. That sounds interesting. What are you two talking about then?
A peasant like you would never understand.
Well, looks can be deceiving. If I weren't so kind-hearted, you might annoy me with talk like that.
Wise counsel indeed. What's your name?
My name is Henry.
Then sit, noble Enrico, and give your verdict on our dispute.
Aye, don't be shy. Come and sit with us.
It's Henry. H-E-N... whatever.
Ah, any tanner or bathhouse boy could be called Henry. Enrico is nobilissimo.
Oh, for the love of God. Will you just tell me what you were discussing?
Ah, it's just that my dear friend George here is a vulgar louse who knows as much about the art of poetry as a baying donkey.
To tell the truth, my last encounter with verse didn't end all that well.
Really? Come on, let's discuss it over a beer.
Man to man, poet to poet.
Well, I wouldn't exactly say I was...
Sit.
So, are you going to tell me what you're talking about?
It's about nothing less than the very essence of the art of poetry.
And also about the fact that Michael here hasn't got his oats for ages and it's got his brain in a twist.
Kindly ignore our friend George here. He's been a simple soul ever since he was dropped on his head as a baby.
Freedom. I figured out poetry ain't to be found in inspiration from the muse. All the truth in the world is right there in ale, roast pig, and fucking.
To the point where fornication and drinking leave no time for actual composing. Better to forego the pleasures of the flesh and give oneself to art. Onorate l'altissima poeta.
Aye, aye. Keep your hair on, mate. As I said, he's not in his right mind. He once met an Italian poet, and ever since he thinks he's Dante Alighieri.
Alighieri, you dolt. So what do you think, Enrico? Where should a poet seek inspiration?
Well, I rather doubt it's to be found in beer or some wench's cleavage. Those might be nice to look at, but an artist should seek inspiration in higher things.
My very words. Let's drink to that.
However you look at it, you, my friend, as a worldly,
And highborn,
clever,
experienced,
intrepid,
unique.
in short, just the right fella.
You might be able to help us out with something.
What are you after?
Enrico, we are in need of an adventurer.
My name's Henry. H-E-N... something...
In short, Enrico, we're in need of an adventurer, a man of action, a man of goodwill, a man of knowledge, a man,
A fucking good fella.
a fellow who helps his fellow man, aspiring minstrels.
If only you knew, mate, what genius is sleeping in our throats. Songs just waiting for a voice to raise you to the heights of glory.
Imagine it. An ode to Henry, the hapless, hoe-wielding hero, harassing the heartless hordes of
Humans?
That's it! Hark, Henry the Lionheart! The only thing missing for you to achieve glory is...
A loot! We need a loot!
All right, but where would I even get a thing like that?
In the words of the poet, una volta corre il cane, e una altra la lepre. He who seeks shall find. Or something like that.
And finding it won't be hard. We've done a bit of snooping, and there's only one in these parts.
It's hanging all forlorn on a wall at the carpenter's in Troskowitz. The house directly opposite the Rathaus.
It ain't no use to him, but he won't sell it, the tight ass.
While if it were in our hands...
In our hands, it will sing like a nun on Sunday.
And it will be the torch lighting our way from this provincial purgatory to the gates of Kuttenberg.
Torch? Shit, you want to fucking burn it?
Ah, it's a metaphor, you ignorant oaf.
All right, I'll see what I can do. please just quieten down for a bit.
Oh, gentle knight, why linger on?
I'll be right with
Linger
you.
on.
If you get hungry, we have an excellent lookout.
How can I continue?
Oh, gentle knight.
What will it be?
Let's fuck quick and sleep.
I'd like to try the fights here.
Why not? But it won't be for free. But if you don't have enough money, try to go and see Crazel at the mill. He recently bragged he was going to send someone here, but no one has come yet. Maybe you can come to some agreement together.
When does the night have ears? And maybe it wouldn't linger on if you got boozed up
Fine.
in bed and then
I'll go and see him, and we'll see.
A metaphor. It's what Aristotle regards as the foundation stone of composition.
Too right I have. How about the Ballad of Sinful
Telling
day
you,
to you.
he fucked me over.
Old
What'll it be, you bum?
What do you have for sale? I'd like to discuss the price.
Sure, why not?
Do you accept?
That sounds really interesting. Lower it a little more, and I'll be satisfied. All right, then. Pleasure doing business. God be with you.
Blessings to you.
God bless.
Same to you.